What's going on, everyone? It's Ben from YGO from Zero, back with another retro Yu-Gi-Oh video and back with another Demise format video. I've been really enjoying this format. The format taking place with the March 2007 limited list. So I'm going to put that on here, just like that. Dueling Book has this nice little feature now. And taking place in SJC Anaheim of 2007 in April. So with a card pool going up to Strike of Neos. Now, normally what I do in my videos is I show off gameplay between different decks, but, you know, I do like doing these sort of deck building videos where I just go through my thought process for building a deck. And as you can see by the card in the upper left corner, today I'm planning on building Six Samurai. This is a deck that came out in Strike of Neos, very, very different to what it would eventually become in the Synchro era. Very much less powerful, but it's still a fun deck to play around with. So I figure, why not try it out, see what we can make work with it. So I'm just going to build this deck out and see what we do. So the first thing that I like to do in building a deck, just to sort of go through my process, especially when covering a deck that's a bit jank, is to see what tools it has available to it. So firstly, I'm going to go to release date just to sort, because that way, you know, we'll know from the beginning, you know, what's available. But I'm just going to type in Six Samurai. And of course, when you dive into an archetype, you got to look at all the other sort of cards as well, because a very powerful card, Great Shogun Xian, does not have the Six Samurai moniker on it, but this will still give us a good starting base here. So I'm going to put these in, and then using my knowledge of the archetype in that there is the Great Shogun Xian, I'm also just going to type in Xian and pull up Great Shogun Xian. Now I can also pull up, Xian's Castle of Mist and Xian's Foot Soldier. We're probably going to cut those. I mean, we're definitely going to cut Xian's Castle of Mist, but it's still good to have here. So there's some other traps as well, like double-edged sword technique, I believe it's called. Oh, that's not out yet. Okay, so that's not out. There was, it's like Swift Samurai Storm, I think it is. Yeah, this trap is out as well that we could potentially include. It's not that good. There's also the, like, legendary Evan Steed or something. Yep, that's right there. It's also a card we could play. I don't really think these are good, but I'm just bringing out these sort of cards in the archetype just to sort of see what we're working with here. And what we're working with generally is a deck that wants to get out Grandmaster Six Samurai or Great Shogun Xian, because Grandmaster Six Samurai is a free special summon, and it turns on your Samurai's effect, because each of these Six Samurai says, well, you control a face-up Six Samurai monster with a different name, and that gets an effect. So if you have Grandmaster Six Samurai, it's great because 1, it's 2100 body, so, you know, more attack, and 2, it turned on your effects and turned on their destruction protection things, which can help against this, because if this card is, well, it's only when destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you get a card back, but either way, you can still pop this and get things going there. So that's pretty decent. We definitely want 3 of this in the deck. I mean, if we see a card that's really good here, it is kind of good to just, like, max out on it just right away. So let's put in 2 more of these. I do really like Great Shogun Xian. I think that is a great boss monster. This is a 2500 attack point monster that you can bring out kind of similarly to Grandmaster Six Samurai. It doesn't turn on your other Six Samurais, but if you've got 2 already on field, then they're already turned on. And this is great because it limits your opponent activating 1 smaller trap card each turn, which can be a pretty devastating floodgate effect. So this guy is really good. It's also unsearchable, but it is a bit of a brick if you're not able to draw into your Six Samurais. So there is a debate about, okay, do we include more of this? Do we just play the 1? I'm just going to keep it at 1 for now, because I don't think that it's good in multiples. But, you know, we could potentially do it. I guess you can actually spell summon more than 1 of these as well if you've got multiple out. So not the worst thing in the world to have here. We've also got a Xian's Foot Soldier here. This is another support card for the deck, and this is a card that we might include. You know, we get to special summon out a level 3 or lower Six Samurai monster from the deck. So that's something important to consider. If we do include it, we want to play a level 3. The level 3s here are not really the best. Come On is, like, okay if your opponent's playing a deck playing face-up smaller traps, but I do think that it's a bit too situational. So I'm actually going to put it in the side for now. I do think it's a decent side card to bring in if your opponent is on a Floodgate deck. But I don't think it's really the best overall. Uriza is a monster that can attack directly, and that can come up if you're doing, like, weird Floodgate strategies. So that's something you could potentially do. Maybe we do a Floodgate deck where we've got Uriza up, we've got just Grandmaster sitting on field to protect it if we attack in. You know, we protect it from destruction and stuff like that. So that is a way we could go with this deck, but I do think that's a bit bad, given that a lot of the decks in this format have ways to break boards like that. And you've only got, like, Gravity Bind, Level Limit, Area B, those are both limited, so I don't really think that is a good strategy here. So I'm going to cut Uriza for now. If you want to build a deck with Uriza, you can. It's just not really that good, I think. But Yaichi here, Yaichi actually is really good because it snipes set cards, and that can be very, very good. So I do like that, you know, this card just pop sets, enables you to get in for other stuff. So I'm going to put in 2 more of it there. I do think it is one of the best 6 samurai at this point in the game. So I think it's worth playing more than one. Moving on to the level 4 6 samurais, we've got Iro, which is really good. It pops a set monster, so I do like that. So I'm going to put in 2 more of those. Also get 79 attack, which isn't that bad. We've got Nisashi, which would again be more for like if you're doing a bit of a different strategy. If you're just trying to get in for like OTK stuff, this card attacks twice each battle phase, so that's not bad. If you're going for an OTK like that, you might as well just play Hayabusa Knight. I don't really think this card is the best thing in the world. It can be neat in sealed environments, especially. Like I've played this sort of deck in like a prog series that I did with someone. It's not on YouTube because I didn't record it, but I did pretty well with 6 Samurai. Nisashi was definitely a superstar in that deck, just able to get in for a ton of damage. But in a constructed environment for this format, I don't really think it's that good. So I'm going to cut it here. And lastly, we got Zanji. Zanji, I think, is the last of the good 6 Samurai monsters out right now. It is an 1800 attacker that, if it battles an opponent's monster and doesn't die, which often it won't, if you, sort of pop on your own things or you attack an defensive monster, then that monster is destroyed. So that is very, very good there. Moving on to these spells and traps, I think Ebon Steed is really bad. It gives a slight boost to attack and defense. The real draw of this card is that if it would be destroyed, you can destroy this card instead, but I don't really think that's worth playing it. There are other cards that do that better. Shan's Castle of Mist. It's really bad. Your opponent can just play around it because it's only when your 6 Samurai monsters are attacked. So this card's not good at all. Swift Samurai Storm. I'm going to skip over Return for now. But Swift Samurai Storm is not really that good. It's sort of another card that would be for more OTK strategy. So if you're playing Nisashi or something like that, it can potentially be something that you'd want to play here. But realistically, the attack gain that it gives you is not that good. So I'm going to cut that as well. Last trap we got here is Return of the 6 Samurai. This thing is actually really good. I really like how it plays around in the deck. And it combines with stuff in really, really interesting ways. So this is a normal trap. Sets target 1 6 Samurai monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target, destroy it during the end phase of this turn. So what you do is you can bring back one of your guys. And if that monster would be destroyed, you can pop one of your other guys. And so, potentially it's a pretty free sort of revival thing. So I'm going to put in some more of these. I like it a lot. It turns on your other effects as well. So yeah, this thing is really good. I'm also going to put 2 more commands in the side deck just in case. But this is going to do our core here. We could play more Xian's Foot Soldiers. I'm going to debate that. I'm just going to have it in here 1. We're going to add some other cards and see if that changes our math on things. Because this deck also is pretty much all warriors, which means that you can play Reinforcing the Army very well here. So I'm just going to add that in. We can play 2 Reinforcing the Army in this format. In a format with Reinforcing the Army, you might want to play other warriors, like DD Warrior Lady is pretty good. So let's put in that. We can play some Exiled Forces as well. That's something that we could potentially do. I want to put in 3 just to, consider them. It is unlimited in this format, so it's pretty good warrior here. We could play some other warriors as well, but I think in terms of like beaters, we've got beaters. We've got basically Mr. Sword level 2 on steroids here. We've got Grandmaster Sasuke on steroids here, so I don't think we really need any other warrior targets right now. But, something to consider if you want to build this deck a bit differently, you can potentially fit those in. But now we fit a bit of a warrior package in there. I'm actually going to look at the limited list, see if there's anything else here that we want to include. Anything that's good for us. I think Heavy is pretty good. Mirror Force is pretty good. Sangan can search out the Yaichis, so that's something. You can also search out these other warriors in our deck, which is pretty good. It does pair with Crush Card. Do we have anything? Does your Ryza pair with Crush Card, actually? Let me think. Let me look up your Ryza, because that is something we have to consider in this format. No, that's an Earth. So it does not pair with Uriza. So none of our 6 Samurais pair with Uriza, unfortunately. So don't need to worry about that. So we're just not playing Crush Card in this deck, which, not every deck can play Crush Card, so it makes sense here. Coffee is pretty good. Don't need True Nade, I don't think. MST is pretty good. Snatch Shield, very good. Morphing Dart isn't really that good. Call On, I think, is really good. Just getting more 6 Samurais on Grave is kind of what you want to be doing. Ceasefire is potentially a card here. I'm going to put it in the side deck for now. Jinzo, I don't really think is that good. Gravity Bind, again, we're not playing the Floodgate version of the deck, so not really worth it here. Come On only pops... Oh, yeah, it's just 1 face-up spell trap, so we could potentially play a Floodgate deck with commands in the deck to pop our own stuff, but I don't really think that's worth it. No need for limiter removal. Knock is a potential good card. I'm going to put it in the side for now. Premat is very good, so I'm going to put that in. Mage Power, United We Stand, we could use those, but I don't really think they're worth playing. TT is pretty good here. Let's see. Scapegoat, is that good? I don't think Scapegoat's good because we want to be filling our field pretty well, so I don't like that. Book is a very, very good flexible card. Ring Destruction, very, very good. We want to include that. Reaper we could include as a wall. I don't know. Not terrible. I'm gonna put it in the side. It's sort of a consideration there. We don't need Demok. Yes, we can special summon out like Grandmaster and Xian pretty easily. But like if we've done that, we've probably also normal summoned a 6 Samurai, so it's not really worth playing the Demok. Dim Fuse, not really worth it either. Level of Mary B, again, if we did the Floodgate deck, we could do that. Nothing to really get back up. Night Assailant, Protector is just here for cheesy stuff. Mind Crush we could potentially play. I'm going to put it in the side. There's some decks that Mind Crush is good against. Avarice. Are we going to be avaricing with this deck? Well, if we play Exiled Forces, we might be. I'm going to consider Avarice, and then we'll see what happens here with that. Future Feud, nothing that we can really do with that card in this format. So yeah, not really worth playing there. Overload, not really worth playing. I guess we could play, are we playing Sidras in this deck? There is potentially an argument for playing Sidra because we can get a lot of things on board very quickly. For instance, if we special summon out Sidra, and then we summon out Zanji, and then we special summon out Grandmaster, and then we special summon out Xian, that's a lot of damage at once. Let's see that, 39 plus 25, which is 6,400 plus Sidra. Actually, that is lethal. Do we play Sidra in this deck? If we play Sidra in the deck, we might want to play Fufu. I'm going to put Fufu in the side because of that. We're definitely not playing Overload because we're not playing other machines for it. Crush card we can't really use. Grand Mole, we kind of need our normal summons for other things, so I don't really want to play Grand Mole here. Stratos, is it worth playing Stratos? We can Stratos for Disc Commander. Disc Commander, once it's engraved, we can use Call or Premount to bring it back. That's something. But Stratos for just one hero target in deck is like, it's kind of iffy. I don't necessarily like it. I will say, if we put Dasher in the deck as well, we get a draw phase special of a 6 Samurai, and then we summon out another 6 Samurai, and we can do stuff with that. I don't think we can support that. I think we just have too many normal summons. If we cut down on some of our warrior package, we can maybe do that. And then that also potentially allows us to play Crush card. I'm kind of talking myself into this, honestly. I'm going to put in some of these just to have here. I don't know if this is really that good, but it is very funny, especially because we have Reaper as well to do it. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Okay, let's look up the D-Draw package and see what we can do there. So, let's look up Destiny Draw. There it is. 1, 2, 3. Mally, is that worth it? I don't think Mally's worth it. I think Mally's just a bridge too far, honestly. Because we're not trading anything. So, yeah, I think Mally's not worth it. Disc Commander, though. I guess we can just look at Disc Commander here. Disc Commander and Dasher. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I'm kind of digging it. A little bit. Just a little bit. We're taking out Xian and Foot Soldier if we're doing this for sure. I think we can take out some of these Exileds. I think Exiled is awkward with this deck because, like, you want your normal summons for other things. Yes, Stratos is a normal summon, but, like, Warrior Lady is also a normal summon, but I don't know. They're more acceptable to me. Do we even put in Warrior Lady? I'll put Warrior Lady in the side. There's certain decks that want things engraved, but yeah, I don't know. I think Warrior Lady would just come in against like Monarch or something, maybe. I don't know. I feel like we're just, whenever we search something here, we want to get like a 6 Sam or like Stratos, I guess, in this case, to then get into Disc Commander to also have Dasher as well. I'm kind of digging that. I kind of like it. Just a little bit. Let's put in some Cyber Dragons as well, just because we can potentially do that OTK line that I mentioned. Third Cyber Dragon? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, is this worth it? I don't know. 3 D-Draw for 2 Destiny Heroes is kind of awkward, I will admit. Yeah, we could play a Metamorphosis because Grandmaster into a 5 is pretty decent. But I don't really think it works out with most of our decks. So I think we have to cut down on the Destiny Hero package here. Or not, we got Avarice, so we can put things back in the deck, do stuff with that. Okay. I'm coping a little bit here. Maybe cut down on 1 D-Draw. But D-Draw is so good. Anyways, we got into Stratos. 2 Rhoda for Stratos to get into Disc Commander and Dasher. How greedy do I want to be? This is so greedy. This is such a greedy package here. It does not really synergize with the deck. But it's tempting. It's tempting. You know what? Listen, I'm trying things out. Let's try out the version of the deck like this. I think it's neat. Draws us into, like, Grandmasters. Draws us into Xian. Those are kind of what we want to draw into. So we want to draw deep into that. Maybe cut 1 D-draw. So we have 2 D-draws for our 2 Destiny heroes. It's just so awkward because you really do want to be drawing the D-draw. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could try this out, right? Like, when I make these decks, they're not meant to be the final product. They're meant to be sort of like trying stuff out, seeing what works, what doesn't. Six Samurais is a deck that's hard to make work in this format. This probably is not what's going to make it work. You're probably better off playing a better hero deck. But it's kind of funny. I kind of like it. I kind of dig it. I'm willing to see where it goes. So I'm going to put this as the main deck for now. Now let's consider our side deck a bit more here. We don't need the 3rd D-draw inside. I just put that in there to have a holding spot for it. Mind Crush, nah, we probably want that inside still. Pulling the Rug, really good in this format. Stops Monarch, stops Gadgets. Yeah, I mean, those are the 2 decks that stop. Well, Demise, it also stops Demise. There's a lot of good stuff that Pulling does here. We could play DD Crows as well. I like DD Crow a lot. It also is another Crush card target, so that's always a nice little synergy there. So we can play the Crows. What else do we want? Oh, are we putting Fufu in this deck if we got Cyber Dragons? No, that's tough. I do think, listen, I think it's good. Because, I mean, you're threatening a big monster in a couple turns. You've got Pot of Avarice in this deck. We are playing this because we are playing a lot of monsters now. So I do like this. I'm going to put it in. What do I cut here? It's so tough. Thinking about what to cut. Could maybe cut a Yaichi. It's not one of our aggressive guys. We can search out with Rhoda as well. Cut a Return of the Six Samurai. We can play Card of Safe Return in this. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Is it worth? Is it worth playing Card of Safe Return in this deck? I think not. I mean, we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways to bring things back. And it seems kind of bad to me. So tempting, dude. But no, I don't think we can do it. I don't think it's worth it. I think that's too greedy. The deck is also just going to clog up on normal summons anyways if we draw more. So I don't, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it there. Yeah, it ain't worth it. Ain't worth it at all. So yeah, I'm not going to put in the Card Save Return. It's so tempting though, but not worth it. Okay, so what am I cutting for the Fufu? I'm going to try out the Fufu. Played many broken cards in the deck as you can, I think, just to see what works, what doesn't. If we test it out and it's like, oh, you can't really support Fufu in the deck, then that's fine. But might as well try it while we can. We could take out Return. I like Return, though. Return plays into what the deck is doing, like as a 6 Sam deck. So, yeah, I'm going to keep Return. I don't know. It's tough. Let me know in the comments below what you think I should cut here. I'm going to cut one thing. I'm just going to cut a Yaichi. It's 1 less 6 Samurai for Return, but at the same time, we got Rhoda to search out any of the 6 Sams that I need. I don't want to cut a Sidra because that makes Fufu like really bad. I could just cut the Fufu. I could cut it. I don't want to cut it though, because getting out a Sidra, or not a Sidra, but a Cyber End or a Cyber Twin, that's really good. That is really good. I do like Heavy in the deck. I'm just going to cut a Yaichi. The 6 Ms we'll probably bring back are not going to be Yaichi anyways. I did an argument for bringing out Return, like for Yaichi, pop back row that we have a read as like Mirror Force or something, but there's just so many things to punish that, so it's not really worth it in my opinion. In my opinion, use Return like the battle phase to get things going, or just to turn on your effects or something like that. I don't know. Either way, I think I'm going to take out a Yaichi. I'll put it in the side in case we're up against a back row heavy deck. Ceasefire, probably not worth playing in the deck. Could put in Royal Decrees as well. I feel like Decree is pretty good. There are some decks that rely on traps more than others, so Decrees seem good for that. I could take out a... Will I really need 3 come on? I don't think so. I've got Rhoda. I'm just going to put in those 3 Decrees. And then the Fusion deck, we can just fill out very easily. Go card monster. We do need Cyber End and Cyber Twin, so we'll put those in. 1, 2, 3 of those. And then 1, 2, 3 of those. I mean, we can put in Overdragon as well. There are weird edge cases, maybe, where like we'd want to reveal Overdragon off of Future Fusion. I can't really think of any right now, but like maybe it's something that happens. So we'll put those in too. I guess another way we could play this, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, We could play Rivalry Warlords in this deck. We could play Rivalry Warlord 6 Sam deck. Oh, I'm going to put Rivalries in the side. So it's like, I feel like a lot of decks can play around Rivalry. Like, a lot of the hero decks are playing mainly Warriors anyways. And, like, even if you tribute a Mali for a meta, you go into, like, Senshi, which is a Warrior. So, it doesn't really make sense to do that here. But I do like Rivalry in the side. So, I'm going to put Rivalry in the side. What can I take out for the Rivalry to put in the side? Oh, Minecarts is just good, though. I think we might be fine against trap decks, since we've got the Yaichis, we've got the Kamans. Taking out Decree could be good. We could take out the Crows as well for Rivalry. I don't think we need Warrior Lady there, too. I'm gonna kind of like more than one Kaman. I'm gonna cut down on the Crows and put in more of those. Anyway, I'm going to fill out the rest of the Fusion deck first. Sorry about this. I'm just, the thought came to mind. I was like, wow, that actually is something. I'm just going to fill in those. Doesn't really matter the rest of the Fusion deck. Just these matter here. But let's put in those Rivalry of Warlords, because that's kind of nasty. We're playing a lot of Warriors in the deck. We just cut out the Fufu package and the Sidra, and then we can play the Rivalries. That seems pretty nasty. Not gonna lie. Yeah. But it's definitely not a main deck card. I mean, you think about the decks in this format, Gadgets doesn't care about that. A lot of the hero decks don't care about that. I think the main one that would is like Demise OTK, because it plays like insects, it plays the fairies to search out things, it plays Winged Beast and Sonic Bird, so that can make that deck have a bit of trouble, but pulling the right stops that deck as well, so I don't really care much about that, but Rivalry can come up in weird edge cases, so I'll put that in. I guess I'll put in, I don't even know what the last card in the side deck should be. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think the last card in the side deck should be. I'm just going to put in a DD Crow. DD Crow is a pretty decent card in general. So I'm just going to put it in there. See if I want to bring it in any cases. I could take out, do I need Knock? I've got Eros, so I don't think I need Knock as much. I'm going to take out Knock. I'm going to put in another Crow. And yeah, I mean, we'll see how this goes. Yeah, definitely not certain about this deck. I mean, there are definitely a lot of different ways you can build this deck. I mean, you saw me sort of cycle through a couple of them over the course of this video. But I'm somewhat happy with this end result. I'm at least willing to give it a try, willing to experiment with it, see what needs changing, see what doesn't, and we'll work through it from there. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I like doing these deck building videos, especially when I'm honestly not sure about how I'm going to build a deck for a format. It sort of helps me organize my thoughts, and they're always fun to do. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this deck down in the comments below. How would you build Six Samurai? Do you think that I made some major errors with this deck building? I mean, I probably did. And, you know, what would you adjust? Let me know in the comments below. I love talking with y'all as always. You know, also, if you enjoy this sort of content, like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. I'll be releasing a video featuring gameplay with this deck in the coming days, so definitely keep an eye out for that. We'll also have Demise locals this weekend on the YGO from Zero Discord server, so if you want to play in that, definitely head on over there. And also, as always, big shouts to my patrons, Rinspin, Pork Chop Coon, Bren Donker, Tyler Compton, GeoMyFest, Dump Truck, and Scout Zero. It means a lot that y'all support me this way and encourage me to make more videos like this in the future. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, I've been Ben from YGO from Zero, and I'm signing off.